Don't engage alone. We do this together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got it. We got
New 52 booklet.
it. Somebody clip this.
Welcome to Under Two Capes. I'm Jared. I'm here with my good buddy Robert. What's up, dude?
Hey, dude, what's up? Been a while since I've been on your show.
Yeah, exactly. We gotta do this more. So today we're talking about Masters of the Universe Revolution.
Oh, yeah.
And we're also going to be talking a little bit about Suicide Squad, but we'll save that to the end of the episode.
Don't make a promise about that. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. It depends on how awesome our discussion of He-Man is.
Yes,
so
exactly.
so Revolution came out, and it was awesome.
5 episodes, of awesomeness.
Just 5 episodes, but those 5 episodes were all great.
And I'm positive the other 5 episodes are going to be coming out in a few months. I am positive they just don't want to take away from this 5 episodes.
Yeah, and what I noticed, the first improvement that I noticed, because I didn't know they recast Tila, so immediately when she shows up,
she has chemistry. Someone who actually has chemistry.
Well, yeah, she actually seems like she's Adam's friend, because that was the problem with Sarah Michelle Gellar in Revelation.
Bitch mode a lot. I hate to say this. If I'm not some of the writing, not all, some of the writing, and Sarah Michelle Gellar's acting, I could see why some of those who had a hatred were doubling down, saying, "Oh, there's that." Like, yeah, she was in bitch mode a lot. Unfortunately, I don't know why.
Yeah, exactly, and that was the really that. Yeah, I agree that was one of the criticisms that I agree with, because ultimately, yeah, objectively, that was really cringy, particularly when they were in Preternia.
And she made it about her.
Yeah, she makes it all about her. Why didn't you tell me? And he goes, I died.
Like, yeah, we had to move on. It's like, exactly. And I said it to you off screen, but I'm going to say it right now. Even you got to admit, a majority of writers would not have had Lois be that bad if she was in her shoes. Most writers, I'm saying.
As long as it's not Peter J. Tomasi, yeah, I agree with you on that one.
I don't think Peter Tomasi would have done that. I could think, I know Bendis probably would have done it.
Oh, if Bendis makes Lois Lane intolerable, he's probably my I can't say my favorite writer. I can't even say that for a joke. Jeez.
Yeah, you can't even say that for a joke.
No, I cannot. As a Superman fan, I'm like, nope, I can't. That's too far.
And even you acknowledge, present day Greg Rucka can't handle Lois.
No.
The early day Rucka.
No. When he was doing the pre-crisis, the post-crisis Wonder Woman series, that one probably could have done it.
Yeah, possibly, but then when doing Adventures of Superman, no.
Yeah. So okay. Back to He-Man.
Back to He-Man. Yeah.
What I immediately noticed is that it's kind of cool that He-Man shows up in the first 5 minutes in this and stays in there.
Yep. Oh, we didn't mention the casting. It's his wife. It's Chris Adams, the voice of He-Man's wife. Melissa Benet.
Hey, Supergirl, technically. So, and you know what? She nails it.
Now, I would say this, though. The one voice change that was kind of superfluous was Gates McFadden over Alicia Silverstone. I really couldn't tell a difference.
Who is she playing?
Queen Marlena.
Oh, okay. I didn't notice. I was like,
yeah, I think Alicia was probably busy, I think.
Yeah, I think so, too. But regardless, I think, and like we said at the beginning of this, and even off screen, yeah, Melissa had way better chemistry with Adam.
And even when she was not with Adam, it was still better, acting and everything.
Well, yeah, they're married. They better have chemistry.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, but I'm saying, no, even her chemistry with other characters is what I mean. Like with Evelyn, felt a lot better than, you can still tell there's a little bitchiness, but not full on, I don't trust you. It's more like give me one reason why I should trust you. Because she's a sorceress. She needs to be at least more restrained.
And you're dealing with, particularly in Evelyn's case, you're dealing with a character that destroyed Preternia.
but is also clearly trying to redeem herself.
Yeah,
Clearly.
you know what's kind of funny? That was one of the things that surprised me. I expected there to be another twist where like Evil Lynn will turn evil again. No, she didn't.
Yeah. Well, it was in 5 episodes, no. And I think that's a case where I think they learned their mistake from. People didn't want to see, people, as much as people love Evil Lynn, they never wanted to see her be like almost the main villain.
Yeah, because ultimately she's not. She's like like the Harley Quinn of He-Man in that it's
To a
hard
degree.
to a degree.
She's hotter than Harley, I'll say
Oh, she's way hotter. But my point is, it's like she's one of the main things she's known for is being Skeletor's like minion.
But his most loyal and competent minion.
Yes, exactly. But
well, there's so many other points to bring up about all this. Yeah. But anyway, so we open up, they're in Subternia, trying to get not all, some of the souls that were just wiped out.
It was
there's others they felt like
Fisto and Clamchamp, I think, right?
Yeah. Yes. And they're basically saying how they did not deserve to die because they were just wiped out casually. They weren't even in battle when it happened.
Yeah, when I, you know, it's kind of funny. After Revolution, I rewatched Revelation, and yeah, the other
characters they list went down like heroes. Those ones went down like.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was great hearing Tony Todd again as Skeleglow.
Yes, and I particularly after watching the Spider-Man game, I'm like, oh, it's Venom.
Oh yeah, and then you also had King Randor joining in. That was great.
That I didn't expect that one because I'm like, oh, the king actually goes into battle. I like this.
He's in a suit, of course.
It's in a war suit that's like the Man-at-Arms suit, which they have Audra now as the Man-at-Arms.
Yep. Well, we already knew that at the end of Revelations that she was taking over, but apparently former Man-at-Arms Duncan is now Man-of-War, so he basically got a promotion.
There you go. And then we see Teela, and I love her first line, cover your eyes. I'm about to light this dungeon. I'm like, yes.
Yep. But already right off the bat, you're liking her. Orko is great.
And as soon as she lands, she's flirting with Adam. And even King Randor is like, stop flirting.
What flirting of?
And you can see that they're like blushing. So I thought that was really cool. The romance between Adam and Teela was handled really well in this season.
Exactly, it was more the focus than it was the subterfuge.
Is it always a thing in He-Man where Adam and Teela end up together?
Yeah. Always.
Oh,
they're destined. They are destined, especially if you go by the DC comics, which this one brought even more of the DC He-Man comic stuff. And what do you expect? Rob David was involved.
Yeah, and that's where I think a lot of the criticism comes from, is that a lot of people are approaching this as a continuation of the cartoon.
Which, to be fair, they did initially say that, but then later they had to say, we can't officially be a continuation because of legal reasons.
Yeah.
But they did hype it up for too long as that.
Yeah, if they had said, this is taking into account...
spiritual follow-up.
It's a spiritual follow-up, but we're also bringing in plots from the comics and stuff. The marketing of Revelation, I think, is one of the problems that had backlash.
And I think that when they started, it was meant to be that way, but then they quickly realized, oh, legally we can't do it? Okay, but they didn't correct anyone until getting closer to release time.
Yeah.
Because I do remember Kevin saying, it can't be a continuation, but that did come, that's the case where it comes off like he lied or something, because like
true.
He didn't correct himself until closer to the 11th hour.
Yeah, true. So the other thing that I like about this season, and it's basically the subplot throughout the entire episode, is that so King Randor dies of a heart attack.
Well, not heart disease.
Heart disease. But what I like,
because a heart attack would be instantly right then and there. No, it was a heart disease that had been killing him apparently since the end of Revelation.
And what I do like about this is that it places Adam in a position to choose between being He-Man. Yeah, it's like, do I want to be I almost said Thor. Do I want to be He-Man, or do I want to be the king?
Do I want to be Clark?
Yeah, where's my duty really there? And I'm like, that's actually a really cool plot line.
It is.
And then Captain Kirk shows up and takes that away.
Okay, well, first, before we get to that, Meg Foster returning to the franchise, but as the motherboard.
That was cool.
She was Evil Lynn from the movie.
Really?
I recognized it like that.
Cool.
This very more seductress tone of voice.
I detected that.
She was one of the better castings in that movie.
Yeah. And then we also have, let's not forget Keith
Keldor,
David.
okay, I'll say this. I wish he had more of a snarl to his voice.
Okay, I could see that. I could see that.
wish he had more of it because I'm always like the never fear, master. This
Yeah,
one, it's just typical Keith David. Nothing wrong with that. And he matched Hordak, but part of me still wanted a little snarl.
that's true. That would have been cool.
Not straight Keith David, just the words like, oh, I am Hordak. I am basically doing my Goliath voice. It's like, the guy has more range than that. Come on, guys. Quit having Keith David just do the Goliath voice. Have him add a little more nuance to it.
Yeah, because he's a very talented voice actor. He can do it. He can do it.
Just a slight snarl. I'm not saying full on the pig snorting, and everything, but just a little bit like a never fear. Like, I am Hordak. Like a little.
Yeah, exactly. I would love that. So then we get Keldor, who...
Oh, William Shatner, I didn't expect they were going with it, but then bring Keldor. Perfect. It makes sense when you're doing this at the King stuff. And this was something Rob David loves Skeletor. If you ever read the DC comics, you see it. He loves it. And I gotta say, the Keldor thing, because remember the cartoon, the original 80s cartoon was the only one that didn't have the Keldor connection.
Mm-hmm. Apparently, I heard some criticism about the Keldor plot that in the prequel comics to Revelation, they gave Skeletor's origin and it's not Keldor.
But given how later it stated Hordak altered his memories.
Yeah, as soon as I heard that.
They flat out say that in the episodes.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I didn't come from a dimension. They actually explicitly say that. So I'm like, okay. I see what you're doing there.
Exactly. They're basically saying, but we're spoiling a bit too much of that. But yeah, Keldor shows up and William Shatner nailed it.
Yes.
Yeah, he just played this whole people do not give Shatner enough credit when he does more of the calm, normal tone. Like when he was explaining everything to Adam, you buy it.
Yeah. He's a very trustworthy narrator when he's talking about stuff. And I'm like,
when we see Skeletor later, it's like, wait, what's going on? Because you know about Keldor, but then you're like, oh, are they keeping them separate?
Which is actually a kind of cool way to do it. And it's kind of like
separate. Yeah, until the big reveal.
Yeah, it's like a little bit of a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde like thing.
Now, what do we got to point out? One of the other big premises of this whole series is magic versus technology.
Yeah.
Hordak, completely science, completely tech-based, which is new, but it works. Mm-hmm. And basically Skeletor has been combined with the two to save his life. And Keldor is also all science.
Mm-hmm.
We find that out. We also find out that the power of Grayskull from the sword can reverse these nanites that have been doing it, which I like. I like how that was handled. Keldor gives a moment to shine, saving the day, while Adam is realizing, trying to save this one boy, that the sword can heal it, which means that it allows them to realize, oh, we can do it, but I can't do it all. I got to do it all at once. So that leads to the point of we need to upgrade the sword.
Which I'm like, it was kind of jarring.
A little convenient, but
it was jarring, but in a good way to see He-Man without his sword. So I was like, okay.
We never see the barbarian He-Man in these episodes.
No. We never see Hulk He-Man.
No. But really, but anyway, and then Adam decides Keldor should take over.
Yep.
I see why.
Yeah, promise. Because in the story of Keldor, he was supposed to be the king, but he was screwed over.
Because he was a bastard child. He was which I'm glad they kept that.
Yeah. I'm like, there you go. A lot of this. Yeah, go ahead.
In the DC comics, King Randor kept him there the whole time.
Okay.
And here they have it be they sent him back to his people, where then the Horde got invaded.
Okay, I see. That makes sense.
So that is a big difference. And now, of course, Keldor is claiming, "Oh, I didn't want the throne."
Oh, sure you did. Sure you did. And then what I like is that then it's revealed that, spoiler alert, Keldor is Skeletor, but like in disguise at first. It's like
he's in disguise.
You think it's just like a camo thing.
And when we saw Skeletor during the action, it was Motherboard.
Yeah.
Which she did a convincing job.
She did, exactly. but then I think it's the next episode.
Oh yeah,
where,
when he's talking to Hordak, he's all like, "Oh, that was brilliant," and he's like, "Oh, Keldor, there was a bit of truth. Wait, you mean he was real?" Oh,
yeah,
Mark was perfect here. I always thought he was a little restrained in Revelation.
oh yeah. In this one, it's like, nope, I'm gonna go nuts on this one.
Yeah, exactly. And but yeah, and then he brings it all up. Then of course, Motherboard's all like, "How dare you?" Squeezes his head, and it turns out, you idiot, you just brought back his memories.
Yeah, so and that's a cool way to do it. It's like they had like a mental block on him that was telling him, "No, this is your origin. This is your origin right here."
Yeah, but in fact, even Hordak was saying like, "Oh, there's a little bit of truth to the origin, and everything." When it turned out, no, there's a lot of truth, and yeah, this is where we have Star Trek and Star Wars. William Shatner guy, and Keldor is way more dangerous than Skeletor.
Oh yeah,
he's way more competent, way more focused.
He's less obsessed with He-Man and more on the mission.
World.
Yeah, and this is something that Evil Lynn said in Revelation. As a matter of fact, it's like she basically blasted Skeletor, saying, "All you could have taken over Eternia long ago, but you were so focused on defeating He-Man."
Basically, she was she's basically the She-Go, the Skeletor's dragon.
Yeah, or as a matter of fact, she's anyone. She's like anyone talking to Lex Luthor, saying, "Hey, you could be this great guy if you weren't determined to defeat Superman."
Exactly. But now they decided to have the sword sent out to Gwildor.
Yes, I love that.
I love it because Gwildor was made to replace Orko, so you have him and Orko butting heads.
That was cool.
Science and technology. Yeah. Orko is magic. And Gwildor is science and technology.
I love that. I thought that was really cool. Now, you may be wondering, where is Teela in all this?
Oh, she's been trying to bring back Praeternia.
Which, by the way, Praeternia is the He-Man version of heaven.
Which is where all the spirits go to. As of right now, they're not dead. They're just lost. They are just lost, but slowly disappearing. Slowly. If they don't do it soon. And she tried to do this for King Randor for Adam's sake. To give Adam a peace of mind. But as Elon points out, it's also so Adam has a place to go when he dies.
Yeah, so she's not powerful enough, so Evelyn takes her to...
No, first she's sent by the sorceress, her mother.
Yeah.
To go and find the three goddesses, which is also similar but different from the comics. In the comics, they're all three interpretations of the same goddess. Here, no, they are three different goddesses together, separate. You have Zor, Serpentos, and Horasu. Yeah. The Horde, basically.
Yeah, exactly. So they end up
John Delancey as the dragon.
The dragon was dope. So the dragon basically they have to convince the dragon to help them.
Which I liked. I loved how Evelyn does it. She basically points out like, "Oh, you made the action of releasing magic, dangerous magic, to humanity, which lays one of the bloodiest wars, and you distance yourself from it. Do you really think that saved your soul because you just distanced yourself? No, you are still damned. But if we return Praeternia, your action may finally redeem your soul, but you'll never know."
Mm-hmm. And then, so Teela...
Oh yeah, great. She's given her, which was on the old action figure.
Yes. She essentially gets turned into a snake woman.
More skin showed and everything.
More skin showing, which again, I know enough about He-Man to know what what Teela's classic look is. So I was like, oh, that's how you fit that in. That's cool.
Yep. And, well, they did again. DC Comics did that as well. When she became, instead of the sorcerer of Zor, she became the sorceress of Serpentos.
Okay.
And Evil Lynn became the sorceress of Horka.
That makes sense.
In the comics. Whereas here, no. Teela's going to become the goddess of all three.
Which, Evil Lynn agrees to train Teela to master her all the elements so she can control it and bring back Returnia. So, and this is where they have yet another conversation about how Teela likes Adam, and then on Adam's side, why Adam likes Teela. And that's the thing. It is very much the main subplot of this episode, how they both clearly like each other.
Yeah.
And I like how everyone is like...
Even Randor told him before he died. The one thing I know it in there. And basically, even Evelyn said, "You feel jealous that you couldn't give Randor that."
Mm-hmm. And then, so they leave, and at the same time, it's like Hordak invades.
Oh, wait, why don't you read this right?
Oh,
they
okay.
also said the snake people's powers comes from releasing emotion, lust, all this stuff. Whereas Zora is about keeping the emotion contained.
Yeah.
They don't ever explain about horror cats though. They never explain about that one.
Mm-mm. So at this point, the area is invaded by Hordak.
Oh yeah, basically, we also Keldor betrays everyone. He just gives everyone the technology. No, remember, he gave everyone, all the citizens, technology.
It was supposed to be an inoculation to that plague, but really what it is, mind control.
Oh, even Andrea has a story plot where she feels like, I don't want to be the backup plan. I want to be part of the main plan, which I like that.
Mm-hmm. Because
she's too good of her job, so that she's relegated to the backup plan, which I wouldn't blame her. Would you?
No. And so,
but she's not whining either, though. It's more disappointment than it is.
Yeah. So the castle is converted into a techno castle.
Oh yeah, motherboard takes over because it's defenseless.
Yeah, and then what's actually kind of cool, this leads to He-Man becoming Adam again because it's blocking it.
Yep, and even Kevin Smith said Adam, He-Man would be in 4 of the 5. Adam's in all 5.
Yeah, there you go. I like that one. But, So, and then Adam is captured.
Adam is captured, finds out about Keldor, and now this is then where Skeletor's rise is a little forced, or not forced, but rushed.
Mm-hmm.
He takes down Motherboard way too quickly.
Yeah, for this like badass, for like this main threat. It would be like if as soon as we see the Emperor in Star Wars, Darth Vader immediately kills him.
Exactly. Oh no. As soon as we've been building up Vader, and then this new person shows up and then kills him.
Yeah, exactly. And so Audra.
Now I did like though how Skeletor gives the head of Motherboard to Hordak in a gift box.
Yeah, I love that one. That's so Skeletor.
And the way he says this, you can't handle magic, so you choose not to. Because you don't trust it, that's why you choose acolytes who can utilize the magic in your stead. I'm like, oh!
That's a good point. I like that one.
Yeah, but Hordak, he's not a pushover.
No, it's still a fight, but it's a fight that ends way too quickly, I think.
Way too quickly, but the reasons made sense. Skeletor was the first one to handle both.
Yeah.
The master of both. And it makes sense for him, the master of both. Took him a little time to master technology, but he always was a master. But with Keldor, basically, Skeletor was always a master of magic. Keldor was a master of technology. Now that they're one and the same.
Yeah, exactly. So Audra breaks
Adam out. Well,
Adam out.
First, Queen Marlena gets abducted, and then it turns out, we slipped a tracking device in her, so it wasn't
I
easy
love
to
that.
let her get captured.
It's like they knew that she knew that they would bring the queen to Adam. So they're like, okay, I just got to follow them. So track her, and we're good. So they break out. At this point, Tila comes back to the palace.
They need the Havoc staff from Skeletor.
Yeah, so they grab it after like chopping off Skeletor's arm.
But he's taking over now. He's taking out Hordak, leaving him. We think dead. He ain't dead.
No, he's not dead.
Well,
and then,
we think he is.
Yeah, at this point we think he's dead. So then Tila starts her spell to like combine the 3,
and it nearly kills her.
Until
shows up with the sword, gives it to Adam, and he utilizes it, and we have their romance moment.
Which, by the way, I love how like when he holds the sword up, it starts to open up. That reminded me of the 2003 He-Man sword.
Yeah, I think that was intentional.
Which, yeah, I'm fine with that. And then this is the first time I've ever seen the calling down the power affect 2 people at once, as opposed to like just He-Man. And
it gave her the power to survive at least. Yeah. And then she becomes the goddess, pretty much. She's not just the sorceress, she's the goddess.
And that design, her and He-Man's new design looks awesome.
And I gotta wonder, is Adam now permanently He-Man?
That's a good point. They don't
make it clear. They don't make that clear.
Which, if he's
But given
permanently
everything
He-Man,
happens, but he chose.
yeah, and he chose because he had to save Tila. That was the only way to like give her enough power to like to level out essentially.
Okay, I will say it. I both liked and hated Eva saying, "Oh, no one else is gonna have the balls to say it. I'll say it." Adamantine.
Yeah, that was stupid. I was like,
but it was corny, is what I say. It wasn't fun, stupid. It was corny. But let's be honest, Lynn would so do it.
I do love
This Lynn.
I love the Hobbit going, "What are they doing?" And then Orko's like, "Training."
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, because they showed the flashback of them training in that exact pose. So that's such a good payoff.
Yep. Training.
And then they finally kiss. And again, I love the skull on He-Man's shoulder. The whole design just looks so bad.
We missed something earlier. There was a great bit with Cringer.
Oh yeah, he goes, are you kidding me? You could have hugged me and turned me into Battle Cat this entire time?
Yeah, well, that just happened out even earlier, though, when he would say, like, oh, you're going up into battle. Like, do I need to say that? I'm always behind you. I like that. It's a little thing.
Yeah. Cringer was actually a little bit more like, less like less that because he was like in battle as Cringer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But anyway, so yeah, Skeletor is taking over. He's controlling the people. Now, I would say this, though. Which fight did you prefer better? As brief as it was, the Revelation fight or this fight?
This fight.
Really? I prefer Skeletor's design in Revelation. His ascended form.
Yeah.
I did not care for it here. Power of Grayskull empowered form.
The Skelligod
Skelligod, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta agree with you. I like that one a little more. But in terms of the actual fight, I like this one more.
This one felt like and Tila, she's not taking away anything. She's just trying to bring back Britannia. She does. Randor shows up and helps.
With everyone that died in Revelation, like Moss Man.
They're all there to help.
That was so cool.
Yep, because she reworked the rules. Yeah,
and she even unbound her mom from the castle so she could go up there.
Yeah, well, that was because that was the only place she could have gone. So that's why. Bring back Praeternia, she allowed. So yeah, she's now the goddess, but she's not OP. No, you notice that? No, they put limits on her because that would have been like. Oh, yeah, because one fans would have been pissed off. Yeah, she just took out Skeletor once it was done. Like, no. She ended up turning the tides by bringing back Randor.
Yeah, but ultimately He-Man defeated Skeletor.
I also wanted to know, Randor doesn't bring out about Keldor at all during that fight.
Yeah, that's kind of odd.
That bothered me. But, yeah, He-Man fights, he wins, and Skeletor's turned back to Keldor.
Which I was like, oh, okay. Is he going to stay like that? Probably not, but okay.
But without the Havoc staff, because now Tila has the Havoc staff merged in.
True. So he can't do that.
Who knows what they'll do in the next 5, because they do set up another. Okay. Also, abolishing the monarchy. I don't know. That felt a little cheap.
A little bit. You could have picked someone else to rule, or just said, "Hey, no, I'm going to rule you both."
Yeah, but then they say Andra said, "Oh," and they say Andra could run. I'm like, "Oh, you're bringing democracy, but you're not spelling it." That felt the most rushed. Was the resolution of King, Sword or Scepter?
Yeah, I was like, you could have had someone that did both. After all, King Grayskull did that.
Yep. Now I want to say this. I thought when they said maybe we should leave the palace destroyed, I thought let's move into Grayskull.
And you know what's kind of funny? They kind of talk about that when Adam's like, I'm not a prince anymore, so I don't exactly know where to stay. And she goes, well, you could come stay with me.
Yep. I know, but I was expecting him to offer to everyone to come to Grayskull because that's what actually happened at the end of the He-Man comic. Mm-hmm. Basically, Grayskull was made now the new palace.
Mm-hmm. Which he could be because he has the magic like expanded. So
exactly, but then the cliffhanger.
Yeah, we find out that Hordak's not dead.
Yep, and Despera.
Oh yeah, there you go.
AKA Adora, which they hinted at because earlier we saw Hordak taking the baby.
Yeah, like, and I'm like,
wait, you don't bring that in here. You're not going to pay it off. You do not set up Adora holding the baby.
The problem with that is that don't they not have the rights to She-Ra?
I think, how did that all come up? I think that only came about because the other show was on.
Okay.
But that show has been long off. Because basically Revelation started production while the other show was still going on.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, the fact that you used Hordak should have proven to you that they could have, that the rights don't matter.
Mm-hmm. So, how do you rate Revolution out of 10?
Oh, I would give it an 8 or a 9.
Yep, same here. Except for a few little inconsistencies that you and I both pointed out, it was pretty solid.
Compressed too much into 5 episodes. I think there was another episode or 2, I think.
I think they did that because they were afraid of like the back. Because the problem with Revelation is that
the 2 parts. Because everything that proved the complaints was in the first 5. Everything that disproved it was in the second 5, but nobody cared. Or you're like some idiot thinking, oh, they basically rushed out new animation in those couple months for the second half.
It was kind of funny. The animation in the second half looks too good to be rushed out. There's no way they rushed that out.
Exactly. I mean, the people who make those complaints don't know how animation work.
Yeah, but speaking of Revelation, I've long said that was one of the things that came out on Netflix I thought was criminally underrated. I really enjoyed that.
Exactly. Now, the CGI He-Man show, it
was okay.
For me. It was basically He-Man's Rise of the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, it's pretty much that. Exactly.
One complaint I want to get out. Why is it people made a big thing about Andra, this minor zealous character being race-bent, but nobody gave a toss about Teela being
or the fact that Ram Man was gender-bent in the show? Yeah.
And they mainly took Kevin Smith's joke and made it in actuality in the CGI show.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, okay. But for the most part,
I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah. Now, I do agree with people that say that Revolution was more enjoyable than Revelation. As much as I liked Revelation, this was way better. Way better.
It was more refined, more focused, felt a bit more like it. And yes, Teela's plot point was just as important as Adam's, but it didn't interrupt.
And the writing for Teela was so much better in this.
So much better.
So much better. Like, oh god, it's like when I rewatched Revelation, I was like, I'm not liking this. It's just, again, like you said, they made her too like aggressive and too like annoying.
Exactly. Too much about it's all. I'm selfish. I'm this selfish.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, again, it was understandable for that to be the cause of her issues, but to dwell on it that much and to make it
way too long,
and to write it and to seemingly write it like I have every right to be mad. Yes, you're right. You have every right to be mad, ma'am. Because so many times, yes, Adam called her out, but by the end of it, it's basically saying, yes, she's in the right. I hate to say this, the writing did seem to indicate Teela was 100% in the right when she never was.
Yeah, exactly. So actually, we have some time to talk about Suicide Squad, so let's do this. So
I haven't beaten it yet, just to make it clear.
Me neither.
But I'm enjoying it.
Me too.
There's a few quibbles I may have here and there, but for the most part, it's fun. You tell Kevin's having a blast as evil Batman.
Yeah, and by the way, I love it. That one, spoilers, by the way, that one part of the game where you're being hunted by Batman terrified me. I'm like, this is how it feels now. Oh no.
Exactly. Now, the most of the Suicide Squad to go, ugh.
Yeah, I know, but it was just so
like Croc.
It was so scary. I was like,
This is how it feels.
This is how it feels to be on the other end of that.
Yeah, you're just like,
I was like, oh no.
I'll be honest though, when I was as Harley and I saw him, I was trying to, but he was too quick.
Yeah, exactly.
I tried to shoot him.
You tried to shoot Batman? That's not gonna work.
But he was right there. That was the only opening I had out of all the other squad mates.
Now, I will say, it is really cool when you're exploring the city, you could see Batman on a rooftop staring at you. Yeah. I'm like, oh no.
I will also say this. I personally, I guess it's, as much as I like the Suicide Squad, I prefer King Shark here than
Yeah,
Nom
me too.
Nom.
100% me too. And
Well,
that's the
because
thing I
he
said
has a
on my
brain.
stream.
Yeah, he's actually smart, or at least smarter than he was in the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I would say this. He's more the Starfire of the group as far as how he reacts. Like, he's a literal fish out of water, but a well-educated fish out of water.
Exactly. Now, I know people have issues with some
Traversals.
of the decision and the deaths
Oh,
of
yeah.
the character.
Oh, yeah.
Now, what I will say, and again, spoiler alert, I have to say it so no one
know.
accuses me of being a spoiler.
Yep.
So, yeah, you're killing the Justice League.
But-
Now, yes, exactly. Actually, you know what, Robert? Explain something.
Okay, what's a key point that happened when we saw a non-brainwashed Flash? Barry. They make it clear it was Barry. What
They
did
cut his thumb
sum
off.
up? And it's not a joke. It's a plot point because they use it to get into the Hall of Justice. But then what happens when we see a brainwashed Barry?
He has all 10 fingers.
Yep, we blatantly see that at one point.
Yeah, they
Now,
show
they
all the
don't-
hands.
Now they don't point it out. They don't
Now,
point it out.
that could
but-
be Speed Force healing, but still, it's like,
No, I've
has
never
he
had the
ever
Speed
healed
Force-
from that?
No, not that I know of.
Yeah, because as far as I know, the Speed Force can like heal cuts and stuff, but not like
A full missing limb and
Yeah,
make bone and everything.
Yeah, exactly. So and that's the thing. That's what tells me that none of the Justice
No, we don't know.
Leaguers are
These are
dead.
series. We don't know how. Maybe they're clones. Maybe something.
That's what I think.
Who knows?
I think that would Brainiac, because here's the thing: when they released the season 1 roadmap, they showed like 2 new boss battles. It's just Superman and Green Lantern with Brainiac stuff on them.
Which is basically similar to what I hear the final fight with Brainiac ends up being.
Which, if it's like that, clones, that implies that these are not the originals.
Exactly. Not only that though, but also I gotta say, Batman, even though you can tell Kevin's having a blast, there's always something off. Like really off.
Maybe that's the point, but
Oh, I know, that's what I think. But I'm saying you could tell, couldn't you tell, like in some of his speech patterns?
yeah, I will say the thing that kind of unsettled me in a good way is when like you first see Batman, he throws a batarang and it like embeds in someone's neck. I was like, oh god.
Exactly. And I'll say this: the traversals. I'm a shark guy. I'm a shark guy, and let's be honest, Deadshot is the easy mode for that.
I play Deadshot all the time. I love that
Yeah,
guy.
but I'll say this: Harley, if you're a Spider-Man fan,
Yeah.
more up your alley.
Yeah.
And Boomerang, it's complicated, but I'll say this: in action, Boomerang is great because his melee is still a wide distance shot.
Yeah, exactly. Now,
That I like.
yeah, exactly. And by the way, this game is so much fun if you're playing co-op with people. So much fun.
Oh, one other thing I point out: people complaining. Oh, Harley said fun-sized Ivy. She later on admits, wow, that came out creepy when she said something else. So even she realizes, like, she's not saying, oh, I totally want to bet her. It's like, no, even she's like, she's
Yeah.
fun-sized as a kid. And later on, she's like, wow, okay, I just,
She's like, maybe I didn't phrase that correctly.
exactly. And that's important right there. She's realizing, whoa, because did you notice that bit where she was like, she actually catches herself like,
Yeah.
whoa, that came out creepy.
Yeah. Was that in the clip that they showed us
No.
when they revealed?
No.
That's why. Because I was like, people are pissed off, and then when that played, I was like, well, that's new.
Yeah, because that was a little bit after the point, though, where people complained. But even when she says fun size, you could tell she's more coming out like, oh, aren't you a little cutie?
Aren't you a kid? Yeah, exactly. Now,
Yeah, it's not like saying, and notice, nowhere near what she implied, oh, yeah, we were a great couple. No, they've been saying, like you know, was like me and my ex.
yeah, exactly.
Everyone just kept assuming it was, when you look, it's like, no, it does not sound like, oh, don't you remember me? We and all that. Oh, sorry.
No, it's all
Sorry.
good. It's all good. I'll put a bleep in. But the other thing that I like is Wonder Woman's design.
And she does not look man, despite what some people
No,
complaining said.
no.
Now, here's the other thing I gotta wonder: is it the last? Is she just that good that she avoid being captured, or is it the lasso? But because here's the big question: do you truly think the whole if you're captured by Brainiac, it's permanent, or do you think if
No.
they are genetic clones, then it's
Genetic
more
clones.
embedded into them?
Genetic clones with the Brainiac tech. And my theory is that before the game starts, the Justice League goes and fights Brainiac. They're overpowered. They're like,
given what we know about what led to it all. Oh boy, you do know what it turns out one of the stories that reveal what happened beforehand, like what led to the invasion.
The point is, they're captured by Brainiac.
Yep.
And then Brainiac
Superman's taking the longest.
Yeah. Brainiac clones them, and
which would explain why it's taking Superman so long.
Yes, because Kryptonian DNA is notoriously hard to clone.
Exactly.
Superboy. That's why half his DNA is Lex Luthor.
Or originally, he wasn't even a Kryptonian. It was simulating the Kryptonian abilities.
Yeah. So
either or.
The original League, except for Wonder Woman, but they could always bring her back, particularly when they have the Zeus origin. So the League are on Brainiac's ship still, because if he's making other clones, he has to have a DNA source.
Exactly. You gotta have him up there still. And again, I'll explain why Barry's thumb was back.
Barry's thumb. And that's the thing, because I agree with you. Speed Force is not going to heal that. And they made a point. He kept waving his hands at Deadshot like he was
but they don't. Just because they didn't have the squad pointed out, it's clearly indicating to us.
Yeah, it's clearly indicating to us if you're paying attention.
The squad's probably too dim to catch that.
Yeah, they're probably just like, oh no, it's the Flash.
Exactly. You think even Boomer, right? For Boomer, it's probably been so long since he chopped off the finger, he completely bloody forgot.
Yeah, it could be. It's Boomerang. It's Boomerang. But my theory is that in DLC will break them out.
Just say post-game content.
Post-game content will free them.
Exactly. I think so too.
All of them, including Batman.
Yep, including Batman. Heck, I wouldn't be surprised if we have Kevin actually being your voice, on Brainiac's ship. Your command.
I wouldn't be surprised if they had him voice stuff in the post-game content.
I'm positive they have a lot of post-game dialogue. I'm positive they have a lot from Kevin still. Because let's be honest, Kevin wouldn't have agreed if this was going to be disgraceful.
Yeah, exactly. Do you really think Kevin Conroy would have come back?
And I saw the clip with Batman. I'll be honest. I think something just felt so off about how Batman responded.
Yeah, that's not, again, if you're
even
paying
brain
attention.
control Batman, so it wouldn't be that blunt, like, are you done?
Yeah, if you, I think people are approaching this with too much emotion and they're not looking at so like you said, something is not right. Something is not Batman here. So clone.
Because and Brainiac is just manipulating it all. Now, of course, people can still say, "Oh, it's because of Brainiac's influence." Not to this degree.
No.
Not to this degree. If I would be like, "Are you done talking?"
Plus, even because here's the refutation. Now, you ready? Barry acts like Barry still under Brainiac's influence.
Yeah.
It's still the same dude. John acts still, for the most part, acts like John. No one acts as off as Batman does.
Yeah, Batman is the one who's the most off. Now, of course, one could say, oh, he's fighting it. No. If it was true what they're saying, that it's permanent, he shouldn't be fighting it then.
Yeah, it should be done.
But I gotta tell you this. One thing that annoys me the most was finding out what led to the invasion.
I haven't listened to the audio logs yet.
Well, I'll just tell you this. They make Superman an idiot.
All right, if you want... okay, you know what? If you want to just tell me, go ahead. Spoiler alert.
Okay, because this is backstory. This is not actually in the game, like the main game. Basically...
But again, spoiler alert for anyone that's playing the game. All right, go on.
Basically, Brainiac showed up with the Skull Ship and saying, I come in peace. Let's have a talk. Batman and Superman Green Lantern said, we should trust him. Diana and Batman, I don't know. Oh, come on. Oh, okay. Duh.
Oh, jeez.
So they write Superman as this naive idiot.
I think they were going for the whole Superman always sees the good in people.
But now with a big menacing Skull Ship.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was like, okay. Yeah, I'll give you that. That's stupid. That is 100% stupid.
I'm sorry, that feels like the writer's not giving a damn. I will say that. Basically, I would say they give a damn in the main story, but the setup, they just shoehorned it.
Yeah, because they were like, we have to explain how the Justice League got captured.
Exactly. And I'm sorry, again, that makes Superman way too naive, way too gullible.
Yeah, and
And for the fact that Batman went along with, I was easily that to be that convinced.
yeah, exactly. It's like he's Batman. He just trusts everyone, including
Well,
you.
Yeah. But now, to be fair though, I do think maybe this Batman became more trusting because of the League helping him out of his spot.
That is true, and I did like their explanation for how the Justice League formed, and like how they dealt with Batman.
5 years after Arkham Knight.
And he faked his death. No surprise there that that was a theory since Arkham Knight came out.
Yep, he faked his death. He tried to be, basically, he was sacrificing Bruce to be Batman all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, now, hold on, there was one other point. Hold on. Oh, I like Lois talking throughout all the news stuff. It makes sense.
I have to say this.
If it was anyone in Metropolis, it would be Lois.
But here's the thing. Pika brought up a good point in my chat. He said Lois was the type reporter. Why isn't it Cat Grant?
I'm
like,
point.
That is a good point. I got to give you that one.
But probably because Lois is the bigger name, and when people think Cat, they think mega bitch.
True. Now I
hate to say this. If the public knows anything about Cat, they think mega bitch. Oh, can I tell you what character I did not expect him to bring, even though for as brief as he was? Happerson.
Who's Happerson?
When you get to LexCorp,
yeah,
to get the bombs out.
Oh.
That's the guy who was the main scientist guy for most of post-crisis Lex Luthor. When,
cool.
He's the one who helped make the clone body. He's the one who put the brain in. He was his loyal confidant.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know who that was.
It got to the point where he was so dedicated, so loyal, that when Superman actually convinced Lex not to level Metropolis during Fall Metropolis, Happerson went nuts and actually took it by himself to launch the missiles.
Wow. Oh, that's cool.
How loyal. That's how loyal he was.
That's awesome. I love that.
I am just so glad they went like, hey, Happerson, hey.
Now,
boom. I'm like, oh, of course.
Now, let me ask you this before we wrap up. What's your theory on how the Justice League comes back? Are you a clone guy?
Clearly a clone guy.
Well, yeah, that's your. Now, in terms of Wonder Woman, that's a little more complicated, but I still say gods. They've done that before. There's no way that because she's the daughter of Zeus. They firmly established this.
Yeah. Oh, one other thing I want to point out.
Yeah.
I am still, as much as I like her voice acting, and she's voiced Amanda Waller in the Telltale games. Deborah Wilson, great with her voice. There's one thing I'm so sick and tired of. It seems to be contractually obligated that all the characters have to look identical to her in the mocap.
Yeah.
She's basically being herself.
And that wasn't the Amanda Waller design, and even when she showed up in like Origins or something like that.
I know, so it's clearly, that's why I'm convinced it's clearly a contractual obligation. Because if you look at most of her mocap, since Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever played that game?
No, but she played a side character in the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 1.
And she was also in Destiny 2.
Mm-hmm.
And,
yeah.
Oh, she was also in Marvel Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, stuff like that. But yeah, if you know, every time, unless it's a Telltale game, because Telltale doesn't have mocap.
Mm-hmm.
If there's mocap technology involved, it's identical to her in every way. I mean, she's not a bad-looking lady, but at the same time, it's like, I am so tired of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like she's not being the character, she's being herself, at least physically.
Yeah, exactly.
She's definitely, voice-wise, acting like Waller. She is definitely having the Waller attitude.
She is scary. I love the Suicide Squad's response when she says your mission is to kill the Justice League. First, everyone's silent, and then Boomerang's like, oh, no.
Oh, I should have more been like, ha, ha, ha. You serious? I was expecting that from Boomer.
Yeah, I would have been like, okay. No, it would be the way I could see Boomer reacting is like he goes, no, really, what's our mission?
Yep, also, what is about Hack? She's a carryover from the Rebirth era of Suicide Squad.
I didn't read the Rebirth era, but I like her as a kind of AI partner. That's kind of cool.
Also, weren't they implying that Penguin was a lot older during Arkham Knight? Now he looks younger again.
A little bit, I guess. Yeah.
Even from the preview when they showed that cinematic of him being like, and all that stuff. If you notice, that was more the Arkham Knight design when they originally teased it.
Yeah.
But now it's like he has all this hair and everything. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
what?
All right, so you know what's cool?
Or Cash being relegated to a side character.
I know, I miss Cash. All right, so what's kind of cool is that all the skins I use are the Justice League skins. So, like, my Deadshot's basically Batman with guns. My friend is using Superman, King Shark. We have Wonder Woman, Harley.
Yep, Wonder Woman, Harley. That skin feels like it perfectly. That should have been a main game skin.
Yeah. See, what they could have done if they wanted to make the Justice League skins more, like, in-game, after you defeat a member of the Justice League, you unlock their skin.
Yeah, true, but I will also say that when it comes to I'll say it, the classic costumes, I hate King Sharks. I like the others, I hate King Sharks.
Yeah, King Sharks is like it's basically a Speedo.
With a longer fin.
And I'm like, that's it?
But believe it or not, you want to know what King Shark's first appearance was? Superboy.
Oh, yeah.
He's a Superboy character.
It says it in the game where you select each character.
Yeah, it's like, I knew that, but people forget King Shark's a lot newer than they think.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this clearly makes it clear, both this and Deadshot's daughter, that King Shark and Deadshot's daughter, Assault on Arkham, not canon. Period. End of story.
Yeah.
There's no way. With King Shark especially, there's no way it could be canon.
Yeah. The other thing I like is that Pika brought up is like, why is King Shark in Arkham? Well, why is Deadshot in Arkham? They explain it in like I think the prequel comics that everyone was transferred to Arkham Asylum.
Because it's probably one of the few places that can handle them. It's kind of, which is why it's like, why is Freeze sent there? Well, because it's the only place that can house him.
That's what I said. I'm like, this place holds supervillains.
Exactly. It basically, it's like it's become more like the Raft by this point instead of being
pretty much instead of being an insane asylum. That is true. So that's where we're gonna leave it now.
Yep.
I want to reiterate, and I think Robert, you will reiterate this.
We don't know what the post game stuff is.
I don't know what the post game stuff is.
We're just guessing.
These are just theories based upon what we're seeing and from what the previous leaks were, because what the most recent leaks were before the game came out was that nothing is as it seems, and it's like the point is, one of the leaks said that nothing is as it seems. That's all I'm gonna say on that. So just calm down, play the game, give the post-launch content a shot, or even watch it on my channel because I'll be streaming it. Or Robert's. I'll put his.
I'm gonna start in a little while.
Mm-hmm. But calm down, play the game, enjoy the game. If you're enjoying the game, let me this way: if you are really that against the game, don't play. I'm not going to force you to do it.
Oh yeah,
but
if you're going to complain, be reasonable. Let other people have their fun. Don't.
Yes, exactly.
Let people have their fun. It's just like with Jared here. He's a Snyder fan. He's a New 52 fan. I may question that, but I'm not going to fault him.
I hate Lois, but he may question that. That's fine.
But I'm not going to be like, you're not a real fan.
Yeah, exactly. Just calm down and let's approach this as a positive fandom, which I realize in the DC fandom, that's a bit much. That's a bit tall tasking, but there you go. But Robert, thanks for coming on. Where can one find you, and what have you got coming on your channel?
Oh, I'm almost nearing up to episode 350 of my Pro Teaches Noobs.
Sweet.
Which, if you and I do record something tomorrow after this recording, will be my 349th.
Sweet.
And I'm going to be going like as of this recording, I'm going to be streaming in a few minutes, continuing on with Suicide Squad. Especially after last night, I was doing good and I had to stop because the server dropped.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
I hope I'm able to get some of the, I hope they give out coins to those when the servers drop like that.
Mm-hmm. They should.
Because I didn't get any of that 2K.
Me either. I didn't get that either.
Because it was consoles only.
I didn't get it either.
Oh, so you're a console person? Yeah.
I'm an Xbox. I'm like, wait a second. Where's my coins? Give me coins.
Give me coins.
Exactly.
But anyway, that's all.
Yeah, and again, stay heroic, everyone. And remember, Lois Lane is Lois Lane. I'll see you later.
And also, you have the power.
You have the power. Exactly. I like
Let's
that.
end it with He-Man. Let's end it with He-Man.
End it with
You
He-Man.
have the
You
power.
have the
We
power.
have the power.